So we'll start our two sessions about diamond open access funding models. And we'll be starting with Dr. Bernhard Mittermeier from the Central Library at the Forschungszentrum Jülich. And yes, the floor is yours. Go ahead. Thank you.
Many thanks and good morning. I'm happy to present a proposal for a German Diamond Open Access Fund. I am working on this proposal since May this year, drafting it, improving it, lobbying for it. And when in September I was giving a talk at the Open Access Tage in Konstanz, I was asked why only a German Diamond Open Access Fund? Isn't that rather an international thing? And my answer was yes, it should be international, but it's hard enough to propose and to bring it to life in one country. But I'm happy to give a presentation at the Craft OA conference in October, and maybe the idea could spread. So I shall start with two statements. The first statement here is Diamond OA is significantly underfinanced. I'm demonstrating this by the example of my own institution. You see on the left-hand side the budget, and the vast majority of the budget goes to subscription and APCs. That's the big block, and the tiny line at the bottom is Diamond OA. 0.7% of the budget is going to Diamond OA. Then the budget is going to the publishers in the middle, and then I differentiate between non-diamond publications and diamond publications. And you see that 3.1% of the publications of my institutions are diamond. So with 0.7% of the budget, I finance, so to say, 3.1% of the publications. So either you can say, I spent not enough on diamond, or you can say diamond is much cheaper than regular publications, traditional publications. Take it as you want. It's a good idea to spend money for diamond. Next statement, second statement, existing methods of external financing of diamond open access publishing venues are neither effective nor sustainable. Many of them are organized in the way of a project, and a project is not a business model which can compare to well-established business models of large commercial publishers. It is my belief that projects will not make a turn and be sustainable enough to have a switch to Diamond OA. So I was thinking about an idea how to reallocate money from subscriptions and publication fees to Diamond OA, and the idea was to use established financing channels and to use them. And the idea is that German institutions are asked to contribute 2% of their current spending on books, journals, both for subscriptions and for publications in these media, to a central fund or to other Diamond OA initiatives where they participate ever since, SciPost, etc. There is the need for a central, let's call it agency, who will handle the money. And for in this proposal, we would use the MPDLS, which is the legal entity that handles the deal contracts in Germany, the national contracts with Elsevier, Springer, and Wiley. So you see, half of the money of German spending goes through that channel anyway, and this could be used. And the idea is to take part of that money there, which is already there, and then institutions can contribute other money they regularly spend, the 2%, and give it to this central body, MPDLS. But this is a body which will not make any decisions. It will only do the financing. The body which should make the decisions is yet to be decided upon. Maybe it will be the so-called Forum 13 Plus, a group that cares about publishers smaller than the big ones and making transformative agreements with them. But this is yet about to be decided. It might be another group as well. In any case, this group has to be mandated by the Alliance of Science Organizations in Germany. And you will have heard of SIDOA, the German National Diamond Open Access Hub. And this SIDOA entity will advise and support publishing venues for their application. And now the central point of the thing is, next to the 2%, that there is no selection of best in class or something, but the idea is that any publishing venue which adheres to the criteria, which are, in short, the Craft OA Diamas criteria for Diamond Open Access, each publishing venue will receive funding. So the funding will not be 100% funding, but it will be part of the financing of this publishing venue and help those Diamond OA journals and books to survive in a not too easy world. Many thanks. And please note the last statement. I've been consulting with many, but time is over. But the relevant bodies yet have to make their decisions.
Okay, no, thank you for the presentation and respecting the schedule too, the time schedule. Are there any questions?
Bernhard, first of all, I thank you for this bold endeavor, because you've managed to also overcome some resistance, because you kept on bringing this idea forward, and I think it's a really wonderful idea. What about those institutions who don't just pay others for open access, but practice it themselves, especially when they run their own institutional publishing services that bring Diamond Open Access forward? Is that in some way part of the model?
Yes, it is. If the 2% is considered to be the total amount an institution should spend at least for Diamond Open Access. They can either use it their own Diamond OA initiatives, if they have a publishing house, etc. Then 2% might be not enough, but I'm happy if they do that. They can spend it directly to initiatives of Diamond Open Access, like I mentioned SciPost or other Koala project in Germany, for example, or they give it to this central fund. The idea of the central fund is there you can be 100% sure that there are publishing venues funded by the fund, which are of use for your own institution, because they fund everybody. And your researchers will publish in any of those Diamond OA journals, while in projects like Koala or at SciPost, if you're not in the natural sciences, then SciPost is nothing for you. If the Koala bundle is not appropriate for your institution, then you won't give money to Koala and so on. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We have time for one another here behind. Quick question and quick answer also.
Thank you very much, and I'm really impressed by this proposition. That's very bold, and if it could happen, it would be fantastic. I must say. I have a question. I understand that part of this money should come from subscription and APC to be redirected to support Diamond. I'd like to know, because I'm not German, I don't know exactly the status of the discussion inside the German landscape about what is the status of this discussion regarding institutions cancelling part of their subscriptions or stop paying some APCs or reducing their expenditure on APC. I know that there are initiatives in other countries where you have very bold position of libraries, for example, cancelling subscriptions to free the money to redirect it to Diamond. What is the situation in Germany?
Yeah. To be open, that 2% will at first be on top, but no one has the money on top. Well, unless if a publisher says the price increase rate is 5%, and you negotiate and reduce it to 4%, then it's still 4% plus. And my goal is to take money from that. Let's see.
Okay, thank you for the presentation and the discussion. So now I'm calling Volkmar Welker to the floor. I forgot to mention before that the last presentation from Ronia Kulvin is cancelled because she couldn't be present today. So we still have around 10 minutes for the presentation and the discussion before moving to the next session. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for giving. Okay, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk here. I'm from the Action Science. I'm a mathematician. I'm a professor of mathematics at Marburg University. I don't, of course, usually want to pay every single bill. I don't know, the bill for some copy editing, the bill for maybe some software and so on. And we would be kind of in between and provide this service to the journal. Or if in one case, which we actually do, we are also the publisher and work as whatever the publisher has to do. So we solicit also the funds and and then also spend it in, of course, collaboration with the journals. So how do we get money? So we have several sources. So first, there is a foundation that supports us, which essentially covers the cost of running the nonprofit. This is not super substantial, but it is some money because, in particular, we sometimes need legal advice. And at least in the US, that's not so cheap. So we need some money, and we, of course, need some banking fees and so on. In any case, this amount of this money allows us to not charge overhead on the amount of money we receive for the individual journals. So for the journals, our cooperation partner mainly is Lyrasis. That's some type of organization, probably you know better than I do, that does things that we just heard what is planned in Germany. In the US, it's also a non-profit, which has almost all US, Northern American or US libraries as members, and they collect from their members they solicit from their members contributions to a open access community investment program, which they then forward to Diamond open access journals. So that's our main source. And then we have kind of random sources, we have one university that is particularly strong in our field, that always contributes a little money every year. And then, for example, suddenly the University of Amsterdam contacted us because in one of the journals that we support, there was an article published by an author from the University of Amsterdam. And whenever this happens for a Diamond open access journal, the University of Amsterdam gives this journal 500 euros. Well, it's not so bad. Okay, so this is how we are funded. We are currently running two journals, supporting two journals. This is Combinatorial Theory and Algebraic Combinatorics. They were founded in 2020 and 2018. They are owned by their respective editorial boards. For Algebraic Combinatorics, we are also the publisher. For Combinatorial Theory, it's the California Digital Library or eScholarship that acts as the publisher and also the host. The host for Algebraic Combinatorics is the Centre Mersenne in Grenoble. So both of these journals emerged out of commercial journals after the editorial boards resigned. And then they were founded by essentially the same editorial boards. By now, we have managed to get them in all reasonably important indices. So what are the challenges we are facing? The challenges is to make the funding sustainable. So far, we always funded for a 3 to 5 year period by, for example, Lyrasis. That's great. It's a great cooperation. But of course, this is very much concentrated on North America, and you never know what's happening. I mean, like what is happening now. So we are striving for having a more global funding that helps us to be more independent of change in politics. Then the challenge of liability and legal issues always is a problem. So that's why we often solicit legal advice when we take any action. So we also have at the moment found a lawyer that is affordable and gives us good advice so far. Then also we need new people running this non-profit. It takes some effort and takes away time from our research. And finally, the biggest challenge at the beginning was, of course, when you found a new journal is how does this journal get reputation? Now, for the two journals that we have here, the reputation by the community was in principle, or we hope at least, was in principle transferred from the already existing journals where they knew that this is the editorial board of that journal, and then they saw, okay, this is a new journal, the same group of people runs this journal, and so probably will at some point carry the same prestige, and people started submitting. But of course, this in some parts of the world, this didn't work because they need us to be listed in these indices, and that, of course, takes a few years before this happens. Okay, so that's the challenges and the future plans. And as I said, we want to find a more sustainable and more global funding for the two journals. We are currently discussing with another group of editors who want to found a new journal in a related field, and we are discussing with them and helping them. And in general, we want to raise awareness about Diamond open access publishing. And maybe, did I fall even short of? No, it's okay, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation. You can stay here. Maybe we have 2 or 3 minutes for questions. Behind, here, there.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that some of the money that we get through... Okay. So I forgot to say that some of the money that we get through Lyrasis actually comes from Germany through TIP Hanover. I'm sorry. for these people to have ignored that. Okay, sorry. Now,
good to know. Thank you very much. And thank you for this exciting presentation. I have a question about the ownership of the journal, if I may, because you said that the journals are owned by their editorial board,
right.
But the editorial board are an informal collective. It's not a legal entity. So my question would be, if I had to answer the question, what organization is the publisher of those journals, owning the title themselves, owning the titles? What would be your answer then?
Well, the publishers are, I mean, this is if you look into the ISSN entries, the publisher for combinatorial theory is not actually California Digital Library. This is the, and for algebraic combinatorics, that's us. But in both cases, there's a memorandum of understanding between the publisher and the journal editorial board. That the title is owned by the editorial board. Of course, the editorial board is dynamic. I mean, there are people leaving and entering, but we have been advised, at least by US law, that seems to be okay.
Okay, thank you. I think we can move to the next presentations. Thank you for the presentation. So we have 27 minutes for 3 other presentations. So I'm calling now to the floor Anita, Evelyn, yes, from TIB, please. Go ahead. So you have a bit less than 10 minutes, just to include everything.
Thank you. Rush through it. Yes. Yeah. Okay, this work. Yeah. We have to switch presentations. On our poster, we present a new tool, the Diamond Funding Navigator, that we developed at TIB, the German National Library of Science and Technology. And in the next couple of minutes, I will tell you about 2 things. One, what is it, the Diamond Funding Navigator? And the second part is about the rationale behind it. Why did we do it? Why do we think it matters to the Diamond OI community? Why do we think it's important? And yeah, what is the Diamond Funding Navigator? Very simply, it's a website that provides information, an overview of offers for the consortial financing of Diamond open access publications. Like, for example, if you have heard of Koala, the Koala offers that Fabian will present in the next lightning talk. Also in the international area, OASIP by Lyrasis that the previous presenter mentioned. So, yeah, and data on these offers, like the name, the coordinating institution, website, dates, like pledging dates, and so on, along with the publications that are included that are supposed to be financed by the consortium. They are collected in a structured manner in a database. So you have the possibility via the web front end to access these information, to have a list, to browse, to compare, to filter and sort and everything like that, and use the data as you need it. And there's also an API. And how does the data get into the database? So basically, there's a simple backend that we developed where the consortia can actually enter the data themselves, and a simple workflow where we release or publish the entries. I would like to highlight one particular feature that we are kind of proud of. For each of the publications included in the offers, it is possible to display additional data that are fetched from OpenAlex. So basically, you can view the how many articles have been published in each of the publications included in the offer overall, and even for a specific institution. So you can enter a raw ID, the identifier of your institution, and immediately see if there are offers where your institution or authors from your institutions have been publishing previously. And also you get the counts of articles in comparison to the overall article counts. So as this is sometimes a bit complicated to explain, but it gets immediately clear if you have a look. So you are invited to, maybe I can. Anyway, you're invited to have a look at the Diamond Funding Navigator through the QR code on the poster or through the URL oa.tirb.eu/diamondfunding. So enter your raw ID and have a look around and see if there are publications that have been published by authors from your institution previously. Okay, on to the second part, the rationale behind it. Yeah, as we all know and as we hear at the conference all the time, Diamond Open Access publications struggle with sustainable financing. This is maybe the biggest challenge for Diamond Open Access. And there are solutions being developed, among them library consortia, where a couple of institutions gather to collect the money for the operational costs of publications. And but this is still a new model, or there are several, and sometimes it's difficult to keep track of these offers. So if libraries want to participate, we thought that they need an overview where they can, where they are supported in their decision making, basically, which offers to support, and also that they don't miss any offer. So this is basically what we want to achieve with the Diamond Funding Navigator, like a single point of entry, as if you will. And the main target audience is obviously the academic libraries. And in doing so, we hope to support the consortial initiatives to gain more visibility, and indirectly also, of course, the publications that are supposed to be funded by these consortia to reach their financing targets. So what we did was we released the first version in early summer this year. We did a couple of months of development during which we also spoke with the consortial initiatives and collected their feedback and integrated their feedback to the tool. And now we are still collecting feedback with the Diamond Funding Navigator in its current version. So for an upcoming revision. And there are already many ideas like integrating books or multilinguality. So now we have in English, obviously in English, front end and also database version and a German one. But we would like to expand it to real multilinguality and so on. So we are keen to integrate ideas of the Diamond community, of course. So maybe 3 take-home messages. What is it? It is an overview of offers for consortial financing of Diamond Open Access publications. It's free to use. It's enriched by data from OpenAlex. The second point is the main target audience are the academic institutions, the libraries, in order to support their decision-making for Diamond Open Access support. And 3, it's developed in collaboration with the consortial initiatives. And data can be entered by them. So, we are very open to feedback. Feel free to visit the Diamond Funding Navigator, have a look around, and also we would be pleased to meet you at the poster downstairs next to the lockers. So, to exchange ideas. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yes, and thank you for reminding that, in fact, the posters can be seen in the place the downstairs, all the posters of today, the conference also. So we have time for one question maybe, and then we'll see if in the end of the sessions we'll have time to ask other questions. Just one question from somebody maybe. Yes, I'll go.
Anita, thank you for presenting this. Can you imagine something like a network of national or continental initiatives that used a similar approach to highlight their funding schemes? Because maybe it's too much for TIB to serve the whole world. But could there be something like a network of like-minded funding navigators?
Marco answered that already. So I'm not sure. I think, of course, this would be really nice to have a backbone of more institution that develop this further and give this also more, the boost of visibility and so on. But this is something that we can definitely think about. Yeah, but at the moment, this is only us. Yeah, but of course, in collaboration, as I said, with the initiatives and also other partners.
Thank you. I'm calling the next speaker is Fabian Hennig. Yes, from T-Ben Kim. Yes, we can stay in 8 minutes. Something.
We got these nice notes at the beginning. I used them. So, thank you for being here. My name is Fabian Hennig. I'm working at TIB. As some of you may know already, I work at Koala. I'm project coordinator there. And my boss is sitting there, Marco, and I'm working with Anita over there. We closely coordinated on what we do and how we can integrate Koala and likewise offers into her Diamond Funding Navigator. You might imagine, not talking about animals. Koalas are fascinating and weird and funny animals. They have, I think, 2 opposing thumbs on each hand and other features. But what we're talking about today is funding for Diamond Open Access that we're trying to tackle with Koala. In the past, we have managed to secure funding for, I think, 15 publications so far. We are going to reach in the next 2 years 1 million euros that we'll have raised for these publications, and I'm happy about that. If you want to hear about all the challenges and everything that doesn't work, you may come down later to my poster. We can talk about that. That is not what I'm talking about here now, but I'll be happy to share that with you in a minute. So what is the idea of Koala? If Ronja had been here today, you would have heard about a similar model before, but the idea is very simple. Journalists can contact us if they need money and they want to work in Diamond way or are already working Diamonds. They tell us how much they need. We try to put them together in bundles. For example, we have 5 architecture journals and then 3 or 4, whatever, journals who work in mathematics. We put them into bundles and then we offer these bundles to libraries and they can pledge their support for these bundles. And if we reach, during a pledging period that we are actually in right now, if they reach 100%, then in the following year, from the 1st of January, they will receive support for the next 3 years. That sounds very simple, right? And it's straightforward and it mostly works. This is 3 years, and you might wonder and ask what's going to happen afterwards. And our journalists also ask the same questions. Is this a sustainable model? Can it continue? Would we want to do that? What will happen afterwards? And nobody knows what's going to happen afterwards, but what we do is we offer them in the last year of this pledging of this funding cycle. In the 3rd year, we try to re-offer them and they can start anew in the cycle. So potentially it can be a perpetuating model. We could continue the cycle kind of forever and would hopefully work in the future as well. Now, you all found, I think, this in your bag. These are the quality standards for Diamond OA that were established in this project, and we have also developed standards in our project. They were developed a few years ago and we update them regularly. And I found that they correspond quite well with the standards set here. There are a few deviations that we have, but these standards make sure that we don't just fund any journal. We have to have our due diligence to our funders, and if we put something into our bundle that is open to funding, then we make sure that they fit to our requirements. And these requirements are revolving, let me scroll down here, around copyright and licensing, around technical requirements, transparent funding, and also about editorial policies. You can see that all around these 4 circles here, and I can talk with you about you in detail as a poster downstairs. What is not part of our standards, and that is also very important, I think, we all know that science is working international, scientists are traveling, they're working internationally, and I also believe that our funding should work internationally. We don't focus on where the journals and publications are from, and we don't focus on where the funders are coming from. So all of our journals are coming from anywhere in the world, and also our funders. Of course, primarily our funders right now are from Germany, but we also have funders from the US, from Switzerland, from Austria, from France, from Finland, from UK, from, let me think if I find another country, but many countries already, and we're trying to expand there as well. We had a few first bundles that were in sectors that are not part of the sector that the TIB serves. The TIB is the National Library for Science and Technology. That's why we have to focus on our offers on all the publications that are in this field. In our first bundles, we did not do that, and that were the pilot bundles. And these bundles are going to be, or are already taken over by other institutions, and that's what I want to mention here. We have the Koala model that everybody can actually use. So if you wanted to set up a Koala consortial project, you could do the same. We would be happy to support you, and Koala is being adopted by other institutions already as well. The Saxonian State University Library in Dresden, they started a Koala hub last year. We have the FID Media, the Special Information Service, starting with Koala this year and being successful in my information. And we are looking forward to find and search for new partners who also want to adopt the model. Now, I hope I'm already still on time. As I said, we are happy to discuss any challenges and problems that we're having with Koala. We think we are going to be successful also this year with our offers. We have 2 offers right now open to pledging until the end of October, one in sensor systems and one in mathematics. We will see what happens, but I think we are going to get there. If you have ideas on what to do with Koala, on how to develop it, we're always open. This is a model that doesn't have to stay the way it is. We're always looking forward to develop it further and improve it. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you for the presentation. We will take one question also for now, if there is one. If not, it's fine. Maybe they will have another question later. So we move to the next presenter, who's also from TIB. It's Marina Nazarovets.
Hello everyone, my name is Marina Nazarovets. I'm from TIB Hanover, and today I will present some theoretical findings, the results of a literature review which formed the first stage of a larger researcher project studying the journals published by universities. However, when we think about the academic publishing, we often speak about the big 5 commercial publishers who dominate in the global indexes, in the assessment initiatives. But all of us, as an interested community, we all know what somewhere on the margin of that landscape live thousands of journals published by universities themselves, by their presses, libraries, departments, etc. These journals are not something new, but despite their long history, we know surprisingly little about them. They are unclear defined and rarely and fragmentarily appear in bibliometric studies. So I wanted to find out what do we actually know about university journals, how do scholars describe them, what challenges do they face, And are these challenges the same for journals in different geographical and cultural contexts? And do these journals offer some opportunities for the future of the scholarly communication? So that's why I conducted this literature review. I searched for major databases, Web of Science, Scopus, Dimensions, and OpenAlex. And I also checked reference manually. And at first, the search returned over than 10,000 records. After multiple rounds of screening, inclusion and exclusion criteria, and some manual checking, I arrived at 105 relevant publications about university journals publishing. These publications published between 1995 and 2024. And they originate from and describe the experiences of the journal, university journal publishing from around the world, from different countries. There are a lot of them about the China experience, but also from the United States, United Kingdom, Spain, Brazil, and other countries. And there are also several studies with the global focus. These publications are mostly written in English, but this is due to limitation of search strategy. Their articles needed to have at least the titles and abstracts in English, but some articles in other languages were also found. So it's not only the English speaking articles. Very briefly about the results of the review, you can find more details in the already published paper, which you can find using the QR code on the top of the poster. The poster is here on the first floor, not far from the entrance of this hall. The first discovery was conceptual. There is no single definition of a university journal, and they differ widely across regions in ownership, management, funding, and institutional support. But there are some common features. They typically operate on a non-profit basis and primarily serve academic communities instead of commercial markets. The second topic concerns publication and peer review quality. Many studies have highlighted some common problems. University journals often received weaker submissions, lack professional editors, and struggle with fairness and transparency in peer review. Limited staff, low funding, and delays in publication make it hard for these journals to compete with commercial publisher journals. So the next issue concerns funding. University journals often have small budgets, depend on the volunteers, and that's why it's hard for them to stay stable. The next common topic is visibility and indexing. Most of these journals are locally significant but globally invisible. Often they are remained outside global indexes, citation databases as Scopus and Web of Science, and also they often struggle to meet technical and language requirements for global recognitions. And the next topic is about technology infrastructure. There are problems with outdated systems. Sometimes in some countries, most of these journals are only in print, not online. Or they have limited technical skills, and that's why, for example, they have difficulties with platforms as OGS. As a result, they online accessibility innovations and long-term digital preservation remained weak. So the digitalization is both good and bad for university journals. It makes publishing more accessible, but it also requires technical skills that not even university has. And finally, I found not only problems, but also opportunities. The literature highlights the use of digital and open access platforms, opportunities, features, and improved editorial trainings as the key ways to raise quality and visibility of university journals. It also points to opportunities in publishing in underrepresented and emerging fields and forming international collaborations with other universities press to wider wider audience. Thank you very much. I look forward to the questions.
Thank you for the presentation. Do we have any question for this project? Yes.
So you said you researched finally 105 papers, but on how many university journals did this paper reflect? Do you have any number, like how many journals were represented in the literature?
No, these papers are about different contexts, different countries. So in these papers, we haven't numbers, total number of the university journals, but actually that was the first stage of research project, and the next stage is a mapping of university journals worldwide, and we finished it actually. And for now we have number more than 90,000 of university journals published worldwide.
Are there any other questions? If not, I think we can close. Thank you to all the presenters and for their perfect management of time. We are precisely on the time of the coffee break right now. So
Good morning, everyone. In the next few minutes, I would like to walk you through our platform evolution of e-journals. We started in 2018 as a hosting platform for the university journals because there were so many journals evolving at that time, back in 2018 at the university level, and they needed to think it over how to move forward with the technological changes. And but they would really love to keep their language identities, and somehow we managed, as the university library, we managed to help them and give them an OJS hosting platform. This was we started with 10 journals. And it was an evolution because by 2023, we had 38 journals from 7 disciplines and hosting these journals at the university platform. So we think it over this, we need to give them more help and more comprehensive support mechanism. So we started to redesign our platform. The platform is an OJS-based platform, but we started to make different technical developments to this platform. First of all, we gave a unified identity for the platform. That's when the name came. It's the journals, but DE comes from the Hungarian name of the University of Debrecen. It's Debreceni Egyetem. But we had in mind the journals. So, then we made a unique brand name and logo. That was you have seen it up here. And we started to unify the journal covers because it was that we learned from the different feedbacks of our editorial boards that it would be really good to give them examples, help them out, and give them standardized intros, how they can like feed in their aims and scope into these intros, and we made technical development for this. We have created different tools. This platform is operated by the library because the library has, we have a publisher, and the publisher is operated at the library as well. So we have quite a good IT team, and they are trying to advance OJS platform. So we, to react for the feedbacks from the different publishers, we created an ABC list browser. This helps to browse these journals by title, but we did a thematic list as well because we saw that thematic areas should come forefront in some cases, and we have created a browser to browse by disciplines. And we have put different these logos for the different indexing companies. Here you can see DOJA. Okay. We created a unique identity, but we got the feedbacks from our editorial board that they would like to keep their identities as well. So in a sense, we centralized it, but in another sense, they could keep their own identities and they could keep their designs. So we have various different types of designed journal platforms at our platform. One major achievement was a one-click to create page. This is an integrated journal page. With this, you can create your journal page really quickly and properly. It helps editors create their aims and scope, ethics, small practices, open access statements, authors' guidelines, reviewer guidelines, so on and so forth, in a very easy manner. So we save them a lot of time with this. But it's not enough to have a technical governance. It's really important to engage the community. So we started to engage our editorial communities with different activities. We have daily collaborations with all the journal editors. We are helping out the technical editors every day, mostly. We are measuring their impacts. We are giving them different statistical data, what they need to check whether they reach their goals. We have created pre-evaluation application forms for them. So when they would like to put themselves in different categories or levels, they could like click in a checkbox whether they will need to evolve to a Scopus criteria or they will do DOAJ and so on and so forth, and we help them to achieve their goals. In our community buildings, we are like all the editorial teams gather annually. They talk about their achievement and of course about their challenges. And it's really good to have a platform for them to exchange experiences within their communities, but they are taking these experiences to abroad as well. I don't have much time. So to conclude, in 8 years of, or 7 years of evolution, the journal from a hosting platform became a unique brand and identity for the journals of the University of Debrecen. We moved to a Diamond Open Access publishing model, and even the strategic leadership of the university is financing this model, and we have established a funding mechanism at our university level. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I have my colleague, he's our platform manager, Adam. So he might be able to answer more questions.
Much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Judith. And if I could pass the microphone to Martina. In my excitement to get started, I forgot to introduce Judith, who's from the University of Debrecen, as you've probably now worked out for yourselves. Sorry, Judith. And now we're going to hear from Martina Dvořáková from Masaryk University in Czechia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Martina Dvořáková, and besides being a proud member of the Craftaway Project Consortium, and since last week also Diamond Open Access Coordinator at the national level. I am also, my main job is being an editor at Masaryk University Press. I want to share a story about how we built Monet Journals platform, and in many aspects our story is similar to the story of the University of Debrecen. Masaryk University Press is one of the biggest publishers of academic literature in the Czech Republic, and it was founded in 2007 with a mission to consolidate the publishing activities of Masaryk University, because obviously the university and the researchers have been publishing, but nobody knows, the big picture. There were no overview of the publishing activities of the university. It was really scattered to different faculties, the different units of the university. So first it was meant to focus on books, but shortly after the establishment of the press, we realized that Masaryk University is publishing some 50 academic journals with very different level of support, and also with very different level of, professionalization. Some of the journals were already highly recognized within their fields, and the others struggled to fulfill even the very basic criteria, like having an ISSN or publishing twice in a year, which is a prerequisite in the Czech Republic. To be able to call yourself a journal, you need to have 2 issues per year. And in 2011, we did a big evaluation of the academic journals published by the university. We asked them about their situation, and we also discussed how we can support them or how we can help. As you can probably imagine, the biggest issue was money. Unfortunately, we were not able to help with that one. But some journals also expressed that they struggle with having some kind of a technical support to help them managing the publishing workflow of the journal. And with that, we were able to help. My colleague Radek Gomola did the research, and he identified OJS, Open Journal System, as the most convenient platform for our needs. So he established the platform and in 2014, and he never stopped supporting the journals ever since. Now we have a centralized hosting platform, we have centralized training and technical support, and we also offer tailored modifications to OJS to be able to fulfill the needs of the individual journals. At the same time, we insist on having some aspects of the unified visual style of the journals, with the idea that when you came across to the journal, you are able to see at the first sight that this journal is published by Maastricht University, which was something that we were asked to do. It was a process. We started in 2014 with 5 journals, and some other journals joined later, with the biggest addition in 2022 when all of the journals published by the Faculty of Arts migrated to our platform. It was 23 journals with all the archives and everything, so it was really a big task to migrate everything to OJS. Now we are quite proud that we are able to say that all of the scholarly journals published by Maastricht University are hosted and are part of our platform. And it's even better because it's not like some kind of order from the university presidency. It's just really that we offer better services than other platforms, so the journals want to be with us. Now the platform has 48 active journals and more than 1.2 million page views per year. We are also quite proud that we learned so much during the process that now we are able to help others with their own OJS platforms, and not only, in Czechia and Slovakia, which is like the natural thing, then your peers from your language area contacted you, but also on the European level, thanks to this wonderful Craftaway project. And we are also proud that we are the trusted source for Diamond Discovery Hub for the registry of Diamond journals. So to conclude, this was a story about how we consolidated the Maastricht University scholarly journals under one umbrella of Mune Journals platform, and how we built on this experience and now can contribute to the whole Diamond Open Access Publishing ecosystem. I hope it was an inspiring one. Thank you for your attention, and please visit my poster because you can see a lot more there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Martina. And hand over to Rossella. Rossella is from the University of Milan in Italy.
Okay, good morning. I work in the journal platform of the University of Milan called Riviste Unimi. The journal platform was founded in 2008 with 2 only journals in the humanities field, and now hosts 70 journals from several disciplines. 55 are the active ones. The journal platform is now part of the publishing house of the University of Milan, Milano University Press, which was founded in 2020 when a book section was added to the journal section. The publishing model has always been Diamond Open Access, with no cost for authors and readers. The platform is funded by the university, which pays for server hosting and OJS software maintenance, for ISSN, for Crossref membership, which allows us to register DOIs and use Authenticate. And since 2025 for copy editing services, which were previously charged to departments. The staff is made by 2 persons, full-time equivalent, and we are supported by 2 technician colleagues who help us for technical issues. Many journals have joined our platform over the year. We have new established journals or journals with a history stemming from independent initiatives such as scientific societies, or journals from small commercial publishers. What drew them to us? What attracted them to us? First of all, the high visibility. We reach over 1 million downloads every year from all over the world. We can reach authors and readers from all over the world thanks to Diamond Open Access model, which allows the biggest dissemination. This goal is reached also through visibility from a university website, but also from indexing in the main databases. Our office is in fact responsible for indexing in databases, and a big effort is made in guaranteeing editorial quality in compliance with the open science principles. And particular attention is devoted to the quality and completeness of metadata with a strong focus on their interoperability and contribution to open infrastructures. Our unit is committed to promoting open science practices with continuous training sessions for the academic community. And the journal's office monitors the latest best practice in scientific publishing, providing guidelines on ethical codes or research integrity practices, and we study ways and tools to implement them on OJS software or suggest new practices such as open peer review. All journals must respect DOAJ requirements, and we are now updating mandatory requirements to DOA standard. The result is a publishing house driven by innovation, in which our journals find a more efficient way to invest public fundings rather than with small commercial publisher, besides the deep awareness of the academic publishing industry and the importance of an alternative model driven by open access. Our journals find the opportunity of retaining full autonomy over scientific workflows, as we do not interfere with the selection of scientific board members or on scientific board choices, nor do we impose a minimum number of articles per year. At the same time, our journal find a central office which can provide useful information for the first steps in academic publishing, or provide a range of services according to process guided by a long-standing experience in this field. Next steps will be to increase the number of journals from STM disciplines, as they are still a minority. We have 4 journals on 55 active ones. To achieve this goal, we are promoting services such as the FAIR data repository of the university, which was at the beginning reserved to authors affiliated to a university, but now is open to all authors writing on Milano University Press. And this represents an emphasis on open science practices, which are maybe most used within the STM field. Furthermore, the centralization of copy editing services allows us a full control on the completeness and correctness of metadata before sending manuscripts for copy editing. This is much more work for the staff, and it is quite demanding, as we are only 2 persons, but it really made the difference in the quality of metadata, in addition to relieving researchers of this task. So we hope we can be attractive to more academic journals.
Okay, if I could ask Martina, Judith, and Rossella, you can't sit down, I'm afraid. You're going to have to come back. It's time for questions. I can ask you all to come up here. Does anybody have any questions? We've got 3 fantastic examples of initiatives that are bringing together and providing support for Diamond journals, providing really important infrastructure, hosting, technical standards. Any questions for our 3 speakers? Oh, we have a question here first. Martina first.
Thank you. I have a question for Judith, because we all the time we struggle with this topic, with these disciplines, categories, because it's really hard to assign a single discipline to a journal. So how can you deal with that?
Actually, our journals, most of our journals are based on one discipline. It's really funny. So that's how it was quite easy to make it. We have only 4 multidisciplinary journals, and they categorized as multidisciplinary ones, but the others are, we could categorize in different disciplines.
So you have disciplines, and there is a discipline that's called multidisciplinary.
That's how we managed it.
Thank you.
Okay, that was the question. No, sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
And then Agatha?
I was just very short question. I was just wondering, which languages do the journals need to publish? Do you have a restriction on which languages you accept, or do you accept pretty much any language?
Actually, in our case, we have different languages, mostly Hungarians, but we have English ones, we have Slav languages, and all kinds of.
But you have to be able to read it. Someone in your team?
Yeah, no, actually that is the responsibility for the editorial boards. At our case.
It's same with us.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a lot of journals in Italian and some more in English, but for next year we'll have a focus on multilingualism, and so we will study this subject with our journal board.
Thank you. I think we had a question there at the back, yeah.
Or maybe 3. Let's see.
Okay, 3 questions, great.
First of all, thanks for the talk. Can you maybe conclude the 3 main steps to establish a brand for the first journal? Second one, you talked about the arts that host a lot of journals with you. Is there more than textual publishing, non-textual publishing, like multi-model, multimedia, whatever? And the third question is there any other measurement than using download statistics, because we are living in a world of bots now? So
you did first with branding.
So what was the first question? Sorry. Okay. So actually, our university started to move to branding, like the whole university. So in that sense, it was quite easy to somehow establish a university brand as a journal brand as well.
This is really stupid, but I also forgot the question.
Could you repeat the second question from Martina?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, most of the journals' editors insist on publishing PDFs because they just love the format. And so we are gradually convincing them to publish plain texts in order to, to be machine readable and more accessible and so on. So this is our struggle right now.
Thank you. And then Rossella, any other metrics apart from downloads?
Any other measurement? We publish every year an annual report with data for all our journals. And what kind of measurement were you thinking about? Our unit is, against traditional metrics. So we prefer not to publish data from commercial databases. That's why we prefer to show downloads, and I think it is also the reason for which small journals arrive to our platform, because they arrive from small initiatives, and they know that if I have the logo of the Milano University Press, they can find anyway bigger dissemination. So.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you to our three speakers. And please go and see their posters at the break. They're excellent posters. So next up, I'd like to invite Delphine Crubellier from Epicence in France, who is going to talk to us about the overlay journals.
Hi, everybody. For this poster presentation, we wanted to introduce Epicence to you and how it works with different infrastructure of the open access ecosystem, providing a complete platform for publishing international scientific journals. So when it comes to publishing their scientific work, researchers need to find tools to guarantee high quality publishing and good visibility of their work. So Epicence answers these two challenges using a combination of diamond open access, which you know, and green open access, meaning the article are hosted on open repositories. We chose to represent how it works using a visualization of the steps a publication goes through when published in one of our journals. Note that in the poster, we represent in the blue and greenish colors of Epicence what is taken care inside of our platform, and in black, what includes other services, okay, from the open access ecosystem, as I said. So first step is publishing the scientific objects in dedicated open repositories. Therefore, Epicence doesn't host, as I said, what is published, and it is the main feature of what we call the overlay model, because we are like another layer of services on top of the open repositories. We currently are connected to HAL, Zenodo, Archive, medRxiv, bioRxiv for publication and preprints, Software Heritage for software codes, and Dataverse data repositories for datasets. For example, Recherche DataGouv and Darus. Okay, so this was the first steps. You have to deposit first, and then after you have to submit to one of our journals and getting the validation of the editorial board. To then, third step, go through the peer reviewing process. At these steps of peer review, I have to say that it might be single blind or open peer review, but we can't handle the double blind peer review since the authorship is displayed on the open repository. Okay. So resulting from the overlay model, every new version of the article is documented on the open repository. The author uploads a new version of the document with the amends and correction asked for by the reviewers. The idea is to promote transparency in the review process. Okay, the fourth steps we have formatting and publication. Although Epicence doesn't provide specific copy editing services, it can be managed in the platform with external service providers, like Style Sheet, for example. So the article is finally displayed on the journal's website and is also available on the open repository, of course. Those three steps, 2, 3, and 4, are managed from one platform that integrates all the required services to manage acceptance, review assignments, interactions between authors and reviewers. The final steps is the indexing and metadata enrichment that Episciences manages by connecting with open science infrastructure databases that ensure good discoverability of the publication. We have OpenAlex, of course, we have Opener initiatives, we have thematical databases such as ZB Math, etc. So from this, we understand that Episciences builds upon other open science infrastructure, and the idea is to offer a cost-efficient approach to scientific publishing by sharing resources with other initiatives, and bridging all these in favor of the more open workflow and more prone to reproducibility research. A key feature is the seamless linking of publication with their underlying research artifacts, such as datasets and software. We prioritize robust metadata and standards for interoperability and discoverability. We rely on permanent identifiers, of course, and shared protocol and languages such as signposting and the Core Notify protocol to enable automated metadata enrichment. So the idea is to maintain an active link between databases, open repositories, and Episciences. The best example of this is the implementation of the Core Notify protocol between, well, the first we did implement was between HAL and Episciences. And it allows, for example, to submit an article to an Episciences journal directly from HAL's interface. So we will have similar interactions between Episciences and other open repositories in the future. The result is a very high quality publication as far as the process, the content, and the visual result, as you can see, are concerned. The idea is to be very consistent with academic standards and look very much like any traditional publication. Currently, Episciences is hosting 42 journals and have published more than 7,200 articles, and we gather 15,000 users from editorial boards to reviewers and authors, which means we have reached a significant number of the academic community. We are now considering connecting to other repositories, and we are supported by this COS initiative for the coming 2 years, which is a significant recognition to our efforts to bridge open access infrastructures for high standard academic-led publishing. Thank you.
Very much, Delphine. And now I'd like to invite Silke Weishart to the stage, please. Silke is from EZB at the University Library of Regensburg in Germany. It's a very international session, this. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Our poster is about presenting Diamond open access journals to researchers using the electronic journals library, the EZB. The EZB provides metadata on electronic journals and makes it visible via user interface. The EZB already labels Diamond open access journals, and now we plan to integrate data from the Diamond Discovery Hub, the DDH, as a second aggregator that uses the DDH data. So this will make the information about Diamond open access journals in EZB more complete and reliable. So what is EZB? It's a non-commercial collaborative service, and it is hosted and managed by the University Library of Regensburg since 1997. It is a scholarly index with journal data. People from France may know Mirabel. The EZB is a very similar system. More than 660 institutions participate in EZB. Most of them are from German-speaking countries. This collaboration ensures that EZB data is of high quality, and it provides an institution-specific user interface in English and German for researchers and librarians. So at the moment, the EZB provides metadata for over 120,000 electronic journals. 85 of these journals are freely available. These journals are not all relevant for publishing. It also includes really available retro-digitalized journals. So it's we label the interesting ones for publishing with for example, the DOHA and in future DDH. So with over 25 years of experience, the EZB is a well-established platform, and we have a lot of active data flows to other library systems. The EZB is also part of the project OpenCost that is funded by the German Research Foundation, the DFG. This project aims to increase transparency in publication costs. Within this project, the EZB was expanded to include information on publishing. Now users can see journal-specific information on publishing. They can contact their institution's publication service and see average publication costs from OpenAPC. Another goal of OpenCost is to increase the visibility of Diamond Open Access journals. So in our poster, we show how Diamond Open Access information is integrated into EZB. Yeah, the Diamond Open Access journals in EZB are currently identified using two main methods. First, we motivate our member libraries to tag their own Diamond Open Access titles in EZB to increase the visibility. Second is we frequently import data from sources such as DOHA for journals that do not charge publication fees and are managed by other organizations. So at the moment, we have about 5,000 journals in EZB that are labeled as Diamond Open Access. But not all of them follow the 6 criteria of Diamond Open Access. So we are happy that with the upcoming DDH integration, we have a reliable source that this data will become even more complete and more reliable. So researchers will also be able to filter and find the Diamond Open Access journals more easily in EZB. So our poster has a screenshot. How this integration will look like in the EZB user interface. This poster also describes more EZB activities around Diamond Open Access. We collaborate with projects like CraftOA, CEDOA, and of course DOHA. We also organize information events. Several months ago, we had 2 online sessions together with CraftOA, sharing best practices and discussion how libraries can support Diamond Open Access. So if you are interested, please come to visit our poster. Of course, you can ask me. Thank you.
Okay. And now I'd like to invite Bianca Kramer up to the stage. Bianca's from Sesame Open Science in the Netherlands. Welcome, Bianca. I haven't started yet.
Yes, good morning. We heard a lot about metadata already this morning, and a lot of providers of Diamond journals really stressing the importance of metadata. I would like to add to that and also stress the importance of the availability of good quality metadata, also for indexing, especially for indexing outside databases like Web of Science and Scopus, so it increases visibility. And that's what we did some research on together with Cameron Neylan. Completeness or the coverage of different metadata types for journals using OJS that are also using Crossref. And I know that not all OJS journals are using Crossref. This is just a look at that subset of journals. And we could do that because the metadata in Crossref are openly available, so you can look per journal, what the coverage, how many articles per journal have, for instance, abstracts, or funding information, or affiliation information. And then you can link that, then you can look at that for all the OJS journals that were made available by PKP in their data set. So we're combining two public data sets to look at scale at the coverage of different metadata types in Crossref. So that's this main figure, and I put that up because the whole poster has a lot of details. You can come to the poster to look at that. This is the main figure. So we looked at 6 different metadata types. In order on the slide: abstracts, affiliations, references, funders, ORCIDs, and licenses. And this is a distribution graph, so it shows for each journal what percentage of articles in recent years have that metadata covered. The overall image is that OJS journals in general are doing well for providing abstracts, which I'm really happy about. I have a special love for abstract. It's very important for discovery. They're also doing well for licenses, but they're doing much less well for things like affiliations, funders, and references. And you could say funders, yes, not all research is funded, but also all research has affiliations. So definitely something that could be improved. You can also break this down by size, where we show that larger publishers might do marginally better, but not by much. And also on the right side, by OJS version used. This doesn't include the latest OJS versions, so it would be interesting to continue this longitudinally. We do see that there's some improvement. Later OJS versions are doing better, but not a very marked improvement. So it's a snapshot in time. I think it might be interesting that you can look at this at scale, thanks to the availability of the open databases in a way that also can be used for analysis. Special shout out to Naiko Jan from Göttingen here, who is making the Crossref metadata available in Google BigQuery, so we could use it in that way. So snapshot in time, overall picture. It's also interesting to drill down to specific journals who are doing very well, because that can provide information about what are they doing well and what can other journals learn from that. And I'd be really happy to redo this analysis in 2 years' time and see a marked improvement for the newest OJS versions when they're used and when all the plugins are made optimal use of. So I think that's it. If you want to see more details, also the tiny ones on the right, please come and view the poster. Thank you.
Thank you, Bianca. Get extra bonus points for coming in well under 7 minutes. Great. If I could get Silke and Delphine back up, please. Any questions for Silke from EZB, Delphine from Episcience, the overlay journals, or Bianca about this fascinating deep dive into metadata? Yes, please. I don't have a microphone, sorry.
To Bianca, do you have any idea what is the reason for this low coverage? Because sometimes there might be technical glitches in the software. So I have experience with the Libre quarterly that ORCIDs are not submitted, although we all provided them, and then they're kind of still figuring out why it's not arriving in the database.
Yeah. I think the technical barriers are a major point, and I would love to have this conversation also with people who are more hands-on experience with OJS journals and the plugins. I think the availability, the possibilities is one thing. Then the implementation of those possibilities and of those plugins are another thing. And then making sure that it all indeed works well together. So yeah, I think
you need the author screaming this is missing.
And then of course at the beginning you need to ask it of your authors when they submit.
Thank you. Any more questions? I have a question for Delphine, if I may. What has the reaction been like from the authors of the papers when you contact them to say that the papers are being pulled into an overlay journal? Do they understand the process? Are they pleased? Has there been any pushback?
Yeah, generally we were contacted by journals who are interested in having a Diamond open access platform, and we have to explain the overlay model. And it depends on the discipline. Some are very used to having this preprint approach, and some are not.
Yeah.
A bit surprised. But generally, it's quite well received because the idea is to be more transparent and more reproducible in the research. So we don't have total refuse or total rejection normally.
Okay, thank you. And Silke, I had a question for you. Could you explain a little bit about the relationship or the interaction between EZB and SEDOA, which is the German National Capacity Center?
I think we will work together in future.
Okay.
And we will exchange the data.
Yeah.
What journals could be relevant for for SEDOA? Which journals from the EZB community could be relevant? And of course, we also want to make the diamond journals visible in EZB. So the cooperation is in that way.
Yeah. So it'll be a two-way data exchange.
Let's
hopefully.
See. Hopefully, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Maxime, please.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions, but for Bianca first, because Crossref has this kind of one of the programs they have. It's called Research Nexus, and they have a data science team which actually works on closing these gaps. So they use automated procedures to enrich the metadata with the RORs, with so basically what is missing here. So I was wondering whether you the gaps you find here, what is the next step? So you found out that organizations are not submitting RORs, for example. So what is the next step? Do you contact Crossref and tell them, or what is the? Yeah.
I think this, to some extent, for if we take affiliations as example, then the first step is really at the journals, because they need to supply the affiliation information, and that can be the raw affiliation strings. And this is really looking at anything in the affiliation data. So it's mostly raw affiliation strings. If that's present, then Crossref can do that match to ROR identifiers. If there's no affiliation information present at all, then Crossref also doesn't know, so they cannot do that. So it really starts with the journal, and then on top of that, Crossref can enrich, and they do that also for funding information. For instance, if you submit the funder name, if you submit the funder identifier, all the better. But if you submit the funder name, then that matching can be done on top of that. But it has to start with supplying that basic information.
Did you have a second question?
Yes, if there are no other questions. The second one is for Silke, and it again refers to this because you mentioned that you gonna use how did you formulate this this DDH integration, you said. So because DDH is a kind of catalog of diamonds, and you also gonna be in EZB you're gonna have this diamond criteria. So what's the pipeline of basically if you have this reference list of diamond in German diamond in EZB, how are you gonna connect the cooperation with DDH?
No, in EZB there are not only German journal metadata. We have more than 120,000 journals listed in EZB, and we just label that ones that are interesting for some criterias. So, and one example is to label this is a diamond open access journal that is listed in DDH. So it's more an quality label that this journal is listed. And we use the OAI API. So, but it's not done already. We are but we will do it in the next weeks. So.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions for our speakers? No, in that case, thank you. A round of applause, please, for our three speakers. Thank you. And now we're going to throw the net wide, open and wide. We're now going to have two presenters from Japan. I'd like to welcome Asuka Muranishi from Nagoya University and Satoshi Kukutani from the University of Osaka. Welcome, both of you.
So hello, everyone. My name is Satoshi Kitani from the University of Osaka. And our poster title is Revealing Success Factors for Diamond OA, a preliminary study of Kyo journals. So probably most of you haven't heard of Kyo journals. How many of you have? No one. Okay. So they're like a bulletin in English. Kyo journals are a type of journal published in Japan by universities, department of universities, or on-campus academic societies. And Kyo can be considered a form of Diamond Open Access because they usually don't charge any fees to authors or readers and are often made publicly available through institutional repositories. And Kyo journals are basically considered less prestigious compared to commercial, international, or society journals. But in certain fields, such as law, Kyo journals appear to be regarded as an important medium of scholarly communication. So in this preliminary study, we attempted to find out why they are somewhat successful in the field of law. So before getting into the research results, I will run through these key facts for letting you know a little bit more about Kyo journals. According to a research source, there are around 4,000 Kyo journal titles in Japan. And 1879 is the year of the oldest Kyo journal was published. And Kyo journals are recognized as a venue for diverse research outputs, including articles, research notes, and reports. And submissions are restricted to members of the university. And almost every university publishes Kyo journals. And peer review is usually not conducted, but a minimum level of review is conducted by editorial board. We also found that some journals provide external peer reviews for graduate students. And Kyo journals are once regarded gray literature, but now most of them are made open through repositories. So these were the Kyo facts. Now I'll move on to the results of the research. So we conducted several interviews with Kyo editors to find out why Kyo journals are important in some fields. So here we picked up some questions and answers regarding the roles and challenges of Kyo journals in the field of law. So the first question is, what role does your Kyo journal play in scholarly communication? And we extracted 5 roles from the interview results. Number 1, venue for early career researchers and publication record building. So young researchers often do not have opportunities to publish their articles in commercial journals in the field of law. So making Kyo journals important for their record building. Number 2 is a platform for free and flexible publication. Researchers think Kyo journals are important because they can publish research on their niche topics that are usually not accepted in commercial journals, also because there are no length limits. Number 3 is educational and training function. Kyo journals sometimes provide peer review for graduate researchers. Peer review process can be an educational training for them. Number 4 is dissemination of graduate school research and demonstration of a research capacity. The fact that a university or a department of a university has a Kyo journal reflects its research capacity. Number 5 is rapid publication. Kyo journals publishing process is much quicker than the commercial ones. So when researchers need to publish their work soon, they are very helpful. And the second question is, what challenge do you face in continuing the publication of Kyo journal? Number 1 is securing submission and maintaining regular publication. The interviewees mentioned difficulties in securing submissions for every issue. Number 2 is the cost of publication. That's what they mentioned.
Based on the interviews, we considered the factors contributing to the success of KIO. Of course, there are various opinions on what should be called success. We thought that success meant that researchers recognize KIO as important medium in their field. This is shown in the center. The factors supporting the success of KIO are indicated in red objects. No top-tier journal bias. It is valued that achievement include not only publishing in top journals but also writing in books and other media. A linguistic factor. It is common to publish results in Japanese. For example, research on Japanese law is often discussed in Japanese. And free and flexible publication. There is flexibility to accept research results in various formats. And continued publication. It has been continuously published without interruption. And last, existence of diverse titles. There are various titles. And that is a photo of KIO in the reading room. Some of cut though. There are many of KIO lined up and researchers often look over them. I believe there is a different kind of discovery compared to searching for specific articles in a database. We consider the above 5 to be the success factors of KIO. We think there is no particular order among these factors, but there may be interaction between them. That is the conclusion. It appears that some fields' KIO journals are maintained as important media within a somewhat closed ecosystem. Although not representing the top tier of research, KIO function as platforms that support the breadth of Japanese research, provide training opportunities for early career researchers, and serve as spaces for free and experimental publication. We believe that the success factors may overlap with the characteristics inherent in a Diamond OA. Therefore, drawing inspiration from the Diamond OA initiatives you are discussing, we are exploring ideas on whether we can encourage the KIO. A part of it is shown in next steps, and we would be grateful to receive various opinions from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you both so much. And now I'd like to ask Aisa Ekango from the university up in Tromsø, the Arctic University of Norway. Welcome.
Okay, yeah, hi. Yeah, hi all. At UiT, the Arctic University of Norway, it's a mouthful, I know. One of my work tasks is coordinating a publishing platform for Diamond Open Access journals. And here I'm actually continuing the topic of the challenges of grey literature and their visibility. So one of the series on our platform is Tromura. It's a report series for archaeological excavations that are carried out in northern Norway by the University Museum. And well, the series was established in 1982. It existed as a paper, in a paper format, and then it started uploading its PDFs on a university website. And then 3 years ago, it moved over to our platform. And the reports contain excavation procedures, pictures, and descriptions of found objects, and also some explanation placing the findings in the historical context. And here, for example, also some of the pictures. The picture on the left is a Viking grave that the owners of a private house discovered under their floor when they started renovating the house. So from approximately 8th century. Well, the reports that Tromura is publishing are not peer-reviewed, but they still contain valuable research knowledge. And one of the challenges that Tromura is experiencing is low visibility, as confirmed by the data from internal statistics from Open Journal Systems and also Matomo. Tromura does not need to attract attention from potential authors because the museum's archaeologists are publishing there. It's their place to publish their reports. But it is interested in attracting more readers from researchers and also the general public that are interested in archaeology and history. Yeah. Let me see whether I can manage to... Yes. Okay, so this summer I had a small project for Tromura where I tried to look at whether I could give it more visibility and give it more readership exposure. And so our publishing service deals mostly with technical support for its journals. So looking at the technical aspects was the natural place for me to start. And yeah, what's wrong? Why are we attracting so few readers? It's very small. The statistics there show that, for example, last summer, last June there were 15 views of the whole website of Tromura, and then it's 19 in July, so very low. And so there was some Googling involved, of course, but the resources that I decided to use and that were quite useful were the EDCH training modules on metadata and on visibility and marketing, and the Craftaway deliverable on scholarly indexes. And yeah, as a non-peer-reviewed series, Tromura does not have much exposure in indexing databases, but for example, it cannot get into the Diamond Discovery Hub, as far as I understood. And it is indexed by such automated aggregators such as Google Scholar and Base. And this summer I got it into a German bibliographic database, Zeitschriftendatenbank, and also a new database from EBSCO. So we'll see where that gets us. And yeah, Tromura started doing some new metadata practices. It already has some PIDs like DOIs and ORCIDs, but it has started using RORs for affiliation identification. And no, the affiliations are not shown in our participation reports from Crossref, but it's because there is a problem with the Crossref plugin for OJS. That's why OJS journals are struggling with this. And also, Tromura has started adding some English metadata for its reports in Scandinavian languages, and also started recommending a specific controlled vocabulary for English keywords. And yeah, another thread that I started to look at is how we can improve funder metadata for Tromura. Almost all of the reports in Tromura have some external funding associated with it. How am I doing, by the way? How many minutes do I have? Okay. And very few of those funders are registered in Crossref's Open Funder Registry. But most of the funders are sort of involuntary and a bit atypical as funders go. And this is because of the polluter pays principle. So basically, if a municipality or a power company have some construction project, and then they find some archaeological findings in the ground, they need to cover the costs of the archaeological excavation before the construction project can proceed. So these are funders by definition, but not funders as we're used to refer to them, right? And so these atypical funders have been acknowledged in the report PDFs, but they have not been entered in the metadata. This is because they're not registered in the Crossref Open Funder Registry, which is, by the way, now closed for updates because Crossref has moved over to ROR. But in the current version, in the version of OJS that we're using, 3.4, the implementation of RORs for identification of funders, it's not there yet. So we're waiting for a stable version of OJS 3.5 where we can start identifying them with RORs. And while waiting for that, I registered all of those involuntary funders in the ROR registry. And so going forward, the Tremura editorial team has to think about whether funding metadata, like all of the funding metadata, and how they can contribute to more visibility for Tremura. Okay, yeah. And also, yeah, on the poster you can see that there was an unprecedented hop in the views this July to 492 views. Small numbers, I know, but for this journal it's big. And it turns out that, Matomo shows that most of those views, they come from Facebook. Turns out that the museum shared one report on its Facebook page for archaeology. So it's the museum's page, not the report series page. And then it was sending viewers, Facebook users to the report. And as far as I scrolled down this page was new to me, I saw that, this was the only report that they shared. So social media engagement works. I don't know to what degree it is, whether they engage a lot with the content or not, whether they're actually reading this report that is only in PDF. But it's better than 20 views per month without social media engagement. So the editorial team now should get a more structured approach to social media engagement when it comes to their reports. So, all right, I will stop here and come see my poster. It's in the very end of the lunch area. And please talk to me if you have any tips for this report series or if you have any related experience to share.
Thank you so much. Thank you. If I could ask Asuka and Satoshi to come up again, please. And if you have any questions. So 2 presentations about the importance of grey literature. Really important reminder that it's not just established traditional journals, or books, but we're talking about other forms of academic output, scholarly output as well. Any questions? Yes, please.
So I see that the Tremura has no interface in English. So they have papers in English. Isn't this also an issue? I mean,
I don't know, is it? Tremura mainly publishes in Scandinavian languages. So Norwegian, Swedish, I think there are some reports in Danish. There are a few of the reports in English, but I don't think we need to have an interface in all of the languages that we publish in. At least we started with metadata in English. So we're hoping for more visibility in indexing databases.
Thank you. And Asuka, Satoshi, the KO journals, fascinating. I'd never heard of them, that they're published only in Japanese. Is that right?
It's actually not only, most of them are in Japanese, but some of them, I actually heard yesterday from Pierre that there are some journals that are published in, what was that, Spanish or something? French, sorry.
Okay.
French, so of course English journals exist, so there are a lot of varieties there.
Excellent, thank you. Any other questions? Pierre.
Thank you very much. For these journals, I'd like to know as well if you have the equivalent of the DDH that index all these institutional journals in Japan.
Yeah. Is there an equivalent in Japan of the DDH that indexes these journals?
There, it could be like there's a platform called JStage. It collects society journals from all over Japan.
Yeah,
it could be a kind of equivalent DDH. Yeah, actually, it exists.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't established recently, but actually, it has
I mean,
a
I
history.
think when I looked last, there are thousands of journals on JStage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are there any platforms, Isa, for these types of sort of grey literature? And anything at all? I mean, you've done great work to get what's it called? Tromura, yeah, into those ones that you showed us. But is there anything else, anything local to Norway or?
Well, there is a Norwegian register.
Yeah.
For journals and books, and Tromura is listed there, but it's not a peer-reviewed journal. So again, it's like when it comes to journals and accreditations in the Norwegian register, people look at, is it level 1, is it level 2, according to peer review, right?
Yeah.
But it's level 0 because it's not peer-reviewed, and then it's difficult to distinguish it from journals of lesser quality.
Yeah. And it reminds me of the presentation, for those of you who quoted earlier, from a Verfassungsblog, and where they made an excellent point that, we have to really embrace this diversity and this experimentation. It's really important.
So when, for example, when you start the integration with DDH, for example, Tromura cannot get into DDH unless the understanding of scholarly journals is somewhat expanded in the DDH. But when you get this integration, I just submitted the Tromura into EZB. I hope that you're not excluding other journals, that you're not only relying on the DDH to identify diamond open access publications.
Silke, please.
Maybe we can include, but we can include the journal in EZB, but if it's not in DDH, it doesn't get that label, but we can include it in EZB, yeah.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? If not, I would just like, hope this is allowed, I would just like to say that ISA organizes, along with many others, a fantastic conference called the Mooning Conference up in Tromsø at the Arctic University of Norway. It's on the 18th to the 20th of November, and I thoroughly recommend it. It's in a fantastic setting, and it's really, really great. So,
thank you for the shout
well,
out.
thank you so much to our speakers. Round of applause, please. And one final thing I'd like to say is that it was pointed out to me when I started that a lot of care and attention has gone into this preparing this conference. And I don't know if you've noticed these. These were all handmade for this conference by a member of the conference team. Okay, they're out there. Just take some time to appreciate the amount of work that's gone into this conference. So a huge thank you to the conference organizers. And now you're free for lunch.